Hey guys, we are out here at the Staccato facility. Let's go take a tour and see what it's like. Gotta get the safety glasses.
So this is what we start with right here. This is our 4140 high carbon steel. Just a raw billet right here. It's going to turn into one of our slides. Right now, just kind of feel the weight on that.
Yeah, it's pretty heavy.
Very heavy. So right now, he's, I don't know, 3 or 4 pounds, maybe 5 pounds. We shave off about 80% of the weight. So when we have a finished slide, it'll be much lighter than this. All American made, all American sourced. All of our parts come from inside the states here. This is our beginning process, our EC400 machines. By far our largest, single operation. Going to do a lot of different tool changes, a whole lot of stuff going on in there. So when he starts off, it's going to be that raw billet, which you just saw there. Old shop, we only had about half this capacity of machines, the EC400s. We got quite a few when we moved into our new projects. Also, as part of the next process, as soon as it comes to our EC400s, what we're doing here, we're rounding out that slide, starting to make it look like a real part. We're putting that back angle, open up your port windows here, take it from that square body down to those curved edges there. Still pretty rudimentary, but starting to get there.
Yeah, sweet.
Damn. So once we got that process over here, it's starting to look like a slide, kind of have our major cuts done. We'll bring it over here to our finished slide line. We're going to be putting those intricate details and making it a smaller cut. This right here, pretty cool machine, very precise. But also very simple. Essentially, this is a wire EDM. What we're going to be doing is using this wire you're seeing right here, very thin. We're going to run electricity through that. And what we're doing is a very simple cut, very small cut, but it's a very important cut. We're doing breech space cut right here on our wire EDM. What we're doing essentially is taking that flat edge back here, and we're going to cut it straight all the way through so that it comes out right here, and you're going to have a completely flat edge on that back end. The reason that's important, that's your firing pin slot right there. If your firing pin's sticking out a little too far, you got a good chance it's going to snap off, and vice versa. If that cut's not deep enough, you're going to get light fiber strikes, all sorts of hiccups in your gun. Either way, it's going to result in a bad day. Your gun's not going to fire if that cut's not correct. So, very precise, but also very quick process.
That's pretty cool how that does that.
Yeah, if you look inside, it's hard to see. There's a light, but inside you'd be able to see a plasma. It'd be a little tiny dot of plasma in there. It's about 15 minutes per 4 slide. This is a pretty quick process. We got 2 of them doing the same thing. And over here, we're doing our optics cut. All of our pistols are going to use the Dawson Precision Optics system. Essentially, that means they're all going to have the exact same cut made along that slide for optics. I digress. The CS is a little specific, but what we're doing here, we're threading those holes. We're flattening out that back edge so that when you put on an optics plate, it's nice and secure. So yeah, finished slide line. Essentially, these machines are going to be putting those intricacies inside the slide. Got more optics cut over here. Over here is where we're doing our serrations. So this is where we're going to be putting those nice serrations on here. These are our X cuts. Little bit of a customization you can get on your gun. These are going to be the standard cuts. These are scrap pieces, so disregard, but that's our standard serrations right there. We're putting them front and back. But yeah, essentially that's a finished slide. You can see that weight that we started with, what we end up with right here.
And I know it's like, what per se average lead time? Like a week, 2 weeks?
So on average right now, there is a queue to get inside the beginning of the production process. About 90 to 120 days is our current average lead time. It does depend on the model. XLs run a little quicker, CSs run a little longer, but we're average about 90 days, 120 days.
Got it.
But
cool, man.
If there was no orders backing that up, it'd be about a 2 to 3 week process.
Yeah.
As we get caught up, we should see those lead times come down, but we're a little popular right now.
Still faster than hitting a suppressor,
Yeah.
It's true.
Great way to say it. Great way to say it.
There you go. You got time.
Do you want me? set this down?
Oh, yeah,
you
I
can
didn't realize, yeah, you appreciate it.
I'm like, I can just keep walking with it.
I mean, it's unserialized.
No.
Our steel frames, we're gonna touch those up. We don't make those in-house quite yet. So all of our aluminum frames start off right here, 70-75 aluminum alloy. Very, very high quality stuff. The same size, essentially same size billet, so we started with our steel, but you can see the difference in that weight. It's just crazy. Yeah, all of our C2, CS, P aluminums, they're all gonna start off right here like that. Starts off this machine, basically loading in those raw blocks. This machine's gonna be doing, a certain amount of cuts. So just kind of even that workload. We end up over here, we'll have a finished frame. So you can kind of just step by step, you'll see you can see right here, it's starting to look like a frame pretty heavily.
How often do you guys catch some flaws coming in? And
great question. If you pulled our scrap rate, now that would take into account every line, right, that we have in this facility right now, we'd be running right around 1%.
Okay.
Our goal is to be 0.5, right? Most companies look at a less than 3% as world class, but not good enough for our perspective, right? For our product, right?
Still human error.
Human error, human error.
So these right here are laser engraving cabinets. It's actually where I started out when I joined the company, so kind of hits home for me. But essentially at this point, we're going to have our finished, roughly finished slide, roughly finished frame. Still going to be fitted and everything, but right here, we're going to slap a serial number on the lower quadrant of the frame, put that model name, put our address, put that 2011 logo, and then this is considered the firearm. This is not, this is the modular frame, so this is going to be what everything else attaches to. So the only thing that requires a serial number, but we're going to go ahead and put one on our slide inside that port window, and then we're also going to put it on that foot of the barrel right here. The reason we do is it's a little bit easier to track those parts. If you didn't do that, it'd be a lot more pain in the ass trying to find, put down a slide, pick up a frame, you don't know where that slide just went. So it's where it's going to be established inside of a kit, is what we call it. Essentially, kind of keep track of the gun. But it's going to be described right here exactly what this gun should be at the very end of the process. So this is going to be a Model CS. It's going to have a Dawson Precision Optics cut. It's going to have that carry front sight, aluminum frame, standard stainless bull barrel with a curved trigger. So this is kind of predetermined what those features are going to be on the gun. And it's all determined right here by that gentleman over here at the Stash Rescue. Once it leaves this spot, it's going to be in our books. It is a firearm at this point. It's registered. It's with us. It's tracked. And then it goes right into this kit, and every time anybody's going to do any work, it goes right back into its kit until it's a finished pistol. So at this point, like I said, we're going to have our three major components. They're going to be serialized, they're going to be together and ready to be fitted. This is our fitment area over here, so our barrel fittings process over here. Slide to frame fit is going to be over there. We haven't gotten to, but essentially what we're going to be doing here is marrying the barrel to the rest of the parts. So there's another process. We're going to be marrying the frame to the slide, and we're going to be marrying the barrel to the frame as well. In here, we're basically going to be touching up the barrel at some certain key points, so that when he essentially we're matching it down to that 0.02 of an inch tolerance gap. You can see we've got some finished parts here. When he starts off, the rails of this frame are going to be too wide to even fit onto this. When he's done, it'll be nice and buttery smooth. You want to feel that action there.
Oh yeah,
that's
super
metal
smooth.
on metal, no lubricant in there, other than the leftover grease from the machine. But yeah, so essentially he's going to be marrying those parts together. And what we're also going to do is be touching up some of the features on this barrel to fit in here as well, so you get perfect lockup. So whenever you're firing your gun, you get that nice lockup back there, so it doesn't rattle around too much. You want it to sound like that bell sound right there. But yeah, in a nutshell, we're going to be marrying all three parts together. That's our fitting process. This is kind of what makes our guns function the way they do. I think if we didn't have this process, or didn't go into such detail in this process, then we probably wouldn't be standing here. Probably, I don't think this company would be a thing if we didn't have this process. That's what makes our guns so special, really. Over here, our Lincoln time. Kind of a quick and easy process, but very crucial to the function of the pistol, repeatability of the pistol. So this is where we're going to be fitting that link that links your barrel to the frame. This is going to be what essentially holds your barrel and gets into that perfect lockup every time. It's relatively quick, but they're going to be running through different sizes, starting off at our small one, going up to a large one that they kind of is nice and tight from the get-go. basically be peening in that link, and you know, if it's measured correctly, you're gonna have that perfect lockup every time you shoot your gun. Over here, once we get all our 3 parts are fitted together, we're kind of, you know, the tolerances are kind of established within that pistol. We're then going to zip tie everything together. We're going to run it through our tumbler, about 3 hours in the tumbler, get all those little burrs off, any nicks, anything kind of, you know, any large cuts on there. Once it's finished tumbling, we're then going to bring it over to our function line. We're going to be fitting some of those smaller parts. You know, like I said, all those main 3 components will be fitted. Over here, we're going to be fitting our grip safety. We're going to be doing a lot of the blending, a lot of those kind of fine details. Main thing, from my opinion, though, is that they're kind of the last QC check before it goes into our coating process. Once you coat those parts, you know, there's not really much you can do. Whatever those numbers are at, that's what they're at. There's a little bit of things you can do, but for the most part, once you coat it, it's a pain in the butt to go back and strip that coating, touch it up, then recoat it. Yeah. So these guys' main check is going to be checking for any nicks, any burrs. They're doing a lot of that fine blending, making sure that it's nice and beautiful underneath that coating there. Once they feel that it's good, they pass it off. If everything passes their quality checks, goes straight into our sandblasting room.
So we're the in-house DLC coating department. We do all the DLC coatings for Staccato. So we are a batch processing. So what we're going to do is the moment the gunsmiths get done building them, we're going to pull similar products. So batches of slides, frames, barrels, and small parts. We're going to rinse them off just to make sure we don't have any oil or metal shavings left over from the build process on them. And we're going to send them in our sandblast room. And we sandblast with a 180 grit aluminum oxide at about 80 psi. That gives us the texture we're after. And we sandblast for a couple of reasons. The 3 biggest ones are, if you sandblast the whole part, you know that there's no outside contaminants left on it. There's no oil or anything if you get complete coverage of the sandblast. The second thing is that it gives us a uniform appearance to the final product. If we didn't do the sandblasting, all the filing marks, buffing marks, and finished witness marks would show through the coating. So this gives us that uniform appearance that we all love. The last thing it does is it actually increases the surface area of the outside of the part. You can imagine a polished piece of metal is relatively flat. We're going to go through when we sandblast and add a bunch of micro dings to it. That gives our coating a larger area to adhere to, just more chance for success. And here we have some parts that have already been sandblasted. You can see they're all a uniform appearance. So these will be frames. We have some slides a little further down the line that we're in the middle of washing. And then we'll go over to the next room. It's going to be our DLC coating room where we actually hang and coat the parts.
So much that goes into all of it. It's crazy.
Yeah, Mike's awesome, man. I love him.
So much science, and you know, like
that's just the coating.
Yeah, that's exactly.
That's the 7 micron thick coating on the gun.
That's what kind of blows me away with all of that.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
There's a lot to it, and it was kind of developed with. And we were actually the first pistol manufacturer to DLC an entire weapon.
So what does that stand for? DLC.
It's diamond-like carbon.
Okay. Okay.
So it's essentially it's describing that chain of carbon molecule that's on there.
Gotcha.
It's got the same hardness like diamond. But it's very, very thin. It's, like I said, about 7 microns thick, so it's almost immeasurable.
Yeah.
But so yeah, once it comes out of our coating process, we're basically going to have a fully deconstructed gun go back into our kits. You can see over there, they're looking a little more full. They got more parts in there. But yeah, that should contain every single part for the gun. Really what we're going to do is then roll it over to our gunsmith here. You can see here, Mr. Alex going through. He is building like a CS for them. Yeah, these guys, they take a lot of pride in their work. So much so, whenever you buy your gun, you're actually going to get a little business card that tells you who finished and assembled your pistol.
I remember getting that, yeah.
We're all going to be through some sort of mentorship program or certified gunsmiths, but a lot of them have been here a while and hopefully don't plan on going anywhere else. Okay, this is our QC team. So other than doing kind of a once-over on the gun, checking all those numbers, making sure our tolerances are good, everything's functioning correctly. We're also going to be bringing all of our guns. They go out to our test fire range right back here. A little Connex, you can't see it there, but it's on the other side of that wall. We're going to put a minimum of 10 rounds through the gun. We're going to put 3 rounds inside of a 1/2-inch square. So all of our guns you're going to be receiving this with it. It's going to be a 1/2-inch square, like I said. You're going to get their goal is to get 3 rounds through that square, all touching. They all have to be touching that black square. Just kind of show you the grouping capabilities of the pistol. So this is hand fired at 5 yards from a rested position. So you know, if they're unable to achieve this, we're then going to strip that gun down, see what's going on. But you know, vast majority of the time, you're going to get 3 rounds right there.
I remember getting that little sheet of paper with the the target
that,
on
they
mine.
get put into our shipping department. We're going to put 3 mags with the gun. Law enforcement gets additional 3 mags. Then we're going to close it up, zip it up, make sure it's good to go. Put it on a UPS truck. About 4 p.m. we ship about 250 guns on the day.
Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.